Hello, I'm Nicole Sheppard, and I'm the Transitioning Youth Coordinator with the Developmental Disabilities Administration with the Southern Maryland Regional Office. This quick video is going to give you an overview on what DDA does and our application process. Let's get started. DDA, which stands for Developmental Disabilities Administration, provides funding for people with developmental disabilities. They partner with individuals with developmental disabilities and their families to provide leadership and resources to enable these individuals to live their most fulfilling lives. DDA is guided by the principle that individuals with developmental disabilities have the right to direct their lives and services. The application process for DDA. You can obtain the application online. You want to fill out the application and include any supporting documentation, such as a psychological, an IEP, or any other medical documentation that documents the disability the person that's applying for the services has. A comprehensive assessment, once that application has been submitted to the office, a comprehensive assessment will need to be done, which is an over-the-phone interview, just to get a better understanding of the person applying for services. The coordinator of community services, the person that is doing the comprehensive assessment, will complete that process and submit that to DDA within 45 business days. DDA's eligibility team will look at all the documentation and the comprehensive assessment and the application and make a determination as to if the person who's applying for services meets our eligibility criteria. Eligibility criteria. A developmental disability is a physical or mental impairment, but not just mental illness, or it can be a combination of mental and physical impairments. This definition comes from the state regulations of Maryland, which can be found in COMAR 1022-12. The eligibility team is looking for someone who has a disability that is more likely to continue forever, have to prove that it had an onset before the age of 22, someone who would need supports or assistance to live independently, and someone who would need the support of a team to help with their services and or treatment. If you meet the criteria for DDA, you will be placed in one of the DDA priority categories. DDA has 3 different priority categories. 1, crisis resolution. That means that you are currently in a crisis or an emergency situation. For example, someone who is being abused or neglected in the home, or is abusing or neglecting someone else in the home, or someone who is homeless or on the verge of homelessness. Crisis prevention. That means you or your health will be in a safety crisis within the next year. Or if you have a caregiver 65 or older, you automatically go into the crisis prevention category. Current requests. This is someone who would need or want services, but health and safety are not immediate needs. Depending on your situation, you can kind of intermove between these categories. If you were placed in the current request category and a crisis were to come up, for example, if someone was about to become homeless or they are being abused or neglected, you would just need to reach out to your CCS so that they can request for your priority category to change. Coordinators of Community Services, CCS as we call them. This is the case manager that a person will receive if they are eligible for our services. The CCS will assist the person's wants and needs post-school. They'll also coordinate and connect the person with adult service providers. So they're going to help the person identify potential providers, and they'll complete the paperwork for waiver enrollment once that time comes. The CCS helps to develop the person-centered plan, PCP. They monitor the implementation of the PCP, and they monitor the person's satisfaction with services. The CCS is also going to coordinate the annual review and update the PCP. The CCS advocates for the person and helps with the person advocating for themselves. We want to make sure that the person remains at the center of this transition into services and while they're continue on services. The CCS also assists with locating and implementing generic resources in the community, such as Social Security, Metro Access, Medicaid, and CAMP funding. If you have any questions concerning our eligibility process or our application process, please feel free to reach out to me. Or if you already have a CCS, you can reach out to your CCS as well. Thank you.